Hey folks, so I recently started replaying The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, both because I haven't played it in years, but also because when I originally played it back in the day, I kinda didn't complete it.
Oh, no.
It's not what you think. Basically, I got to the final boss, but just never did it. Look, I was young, scared, and just left it there. Coming back to it years later, it just wouldn't feel like beating the game properly if I hopped back onto that save file years later just to beat the big bad and call it a day. So, I've been playing it fresh. And that's when I got to visit the game's first dungeon, the Forsaken Fortress, Ganondorf's evil sea base in the far northwest of the Great Sea. But did you know that the Forsaken Fortress actually contains a lot of really cool secrets and callbacks to the past, including some cool lore regarding its origins? And that's what we're going to look at today because I'm in a Wind Waker-y mood. Get comfy because we're about to explore some secrets and lore behind Ganondorf's Forsaken Fortress in The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or a drink and send them in to get featured right here. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the channel out, and let's get into this one. Ganondorf's new home is found in a permanent darkness in the far reaches of the northwest. No matter how or when you set sails to this cursed sector of the Great Sea, darkness falls. If it's the height of day, upon getting close to the fortress, the time to nightfall increases rapidly and you enter in darkness, indicating the influence of the mighty king that lives here. This game takes place following Ocarina of Time, but in the adult timeline split. In this branch of the goddamn overly complicated timeline, Hyrule was flooded to protect it from evil taking over when the hero wasn't present, giving us the Great Sea, with one of the best soundtracks ever, by the way, with Hyrule somewhere deep below. All that remained was the high mountaintops, creating islands. The biggest secret slash piece of lore about this place is, whilst now known as the Forsaken Fortress, it was formerly the Gerudo Fortress of Ocarina of Time. This is even stated in the Hyrule Encyclopedia book, showing us how the land has changed between the two games. We can see the northwest of Hyrule containing Gerudo Valley and, naturally, Gerudo Fortress, and then in the northwest of the Great Sea, containing the Forsaken Fortress. This mighty sea fortress was built on the peaks of the former Gerudo base. Who are the Gerudo? Ganondorf's people. Now I know this may seem a bit odd in terms of proportion sizes in regards to a literal sea now being all over this, but thankfully to help cover up that little gap, we can use the reasoning that geography in Zelda is rarely consistent. I also heard the idea that the gods possibly lifted the mountains up a bit as well to help form so many islands, but it's an idea, who knows. Anyway, there will often be the same location seen multiple times across multiple games, but it could look completely different or be in a different part of the map entirely. If they all looked the same, things would get way too repetitive, stale, and boring very quickly. But just the fact that the general geography is accurate here is a lot. These two fortresses do share a location. They are one of the same essentially. The Forsaken is built on top of the Gerudo. We can even see what I'd assume is the rocks of the former fortress's peaks, or just from the valley itself, at the base of the new sea fortress. I mean, perhaps I'm overthinking here, but I think it's a cool detail to think about. On the inside, we can even see similarities in design. The large wooden beams across the entire place, but more obviously, the prison cells. It's clear that it served and or still serves a similar purpose. This is even seen in the tower leading to Daddy Gerudo's room. I just felt like saying that. The place has multiple prison cells just as its former version did. It really is just the sea version of the Gerudo Fortress, a newly adopted take on what once was, but now with pirate influence. Unfortunately, without the Gerudo people anymore. We can assume primarily thanks to the Great Flood, but it's unlikely that they all died out then, and I'll explain why in a bit. Ganondorf isn't happy about this. He didn't take his vast, beautiful desert being, well, hydrated. He didn't take it well. Yeah, well, I didn't get a Twilight Princess sequel, but you don't see me upset about it, do you? That's because I hide my pain. Anyway, the Gerudo origins are really cool, but there is much more to cover, such as the developments over time, references to other games, and more. Let's continue. Still sort of Gerudo related in a way, the new pirate themes of the fortress hold a connection to another game, the game that follows the events of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. In that game, the Gerudo appear as pirates. Now of course there is the oh so loved debate of what is Majora's Mask? Is Termina an alternate dimension, or parallel universe sort of thing? Or is it part of the same existence we already know of? I don't know. nor care at the moment. No offense, Majora's Mask. But both the Wind Waker and Majora's Mask are games that follow after Ocarina of Time. In both, we see Gerudo Pirate. Well, in one we do. We don't actually see them in the Wind Waker as they aren't currently present, but Tetra does say something interesting about the location and pirates. She says, "There are all sorts of strange rumours about this place. What I do know is that long ago, it used to be the hideout of a no-good group of pirates we used to compete with, but they were just small time. Now, the place looks like it's pretty dangerous." Now, just what does she mean by that? A long time ago could refer to before the Great Flood itself, as you know, she'd know about that. Because she's actually Zelda. But I personally think that there were actually Gerudo pirates back when the flood was still fresh. Ganondorf doesn't refer to his people as having died out, just his land. We see across the Forsaken Fortress a lot of pirate symbolism and references. It's clear that a band of pirates once lived here. Obviously not anymore, as the fortress is currently run by Ganondorf's minions and himself, begging the question of, where did the pirates go? Well, we can't know for sure, but one idea I heard in my comments section actually was that because of how much Ganondorf cared for his people, which he did by the way, he isn't all that bad, he just really cares about his people. But only his people. Anyway, he might have told them to leave the Great Sea until he obtains the full power of the Triforce. There is no evidence for this, but it's a cool thought. We'll likely never know, so we'll leave this at it being a cool little mystery. On top of all of that, we also see some sunken ships around the place, just signifying how much of a pirate stronghold this once was. As well as seeing a large ship inside, posters with ships, and a lot of pirate symbolism everywhere. Oh, and of course, Ganondorf's room is quite literally made out of a ship. But how did it get here? The possible answer could link back to that previously mentioned thing about the mountaintops being risen up by the gods. But who knows, it's another cool mystery. Some more cool connections can be found in the decoration across the entire fortress. We see a lot of skull, bones, feather, and paint sort of designs. I don't really know the term for this style, if you do please let me know down below in the comments, but it's seen kind of all over the place. This sort of decoration is seen mainly around Ganondorf's room. He has a lot of decor around the entrance, along with this large red painting of a skull behind it. Skulls are seen all over the place. In the Gerudo Fortress, we see a good few similar pieces of decoration above entrances, skulls with feathery designs around them. This is something that is definitely carried over into the new fortress, along with some more minimalistic designs which also kind of hold similarities. We also see skull flags everywhere, adding to the pirate theme, but also carrying some of the original vibes of this location. This sort of skull design is often associated with Ganondorf and carries on in this game. And whilst not exactly the same, the place still has that mechanic where if you are spotted, you'll be chucked in prison and have to break out. From the Gerudo origins, to the nocturnal nature, to the pirate references, to everything in between, the Forsaken Fortress is one of the coolest places in Link's first adventure at sea. Of course, two more come along following this, but this first taste of life at sea in The Legend of Zelda is certainly epic, and this ominous fort is a brilliant first taste of the game's story and sets us up for one heck of an adventure. If I missed anything, be sure to leave a comment below letting me know, but also leave a comment below with any other cool locations you'd like me to discuss or anything you'd like to see in general. I look forward to reading and replying to them. Have a nice day, folks. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. If you haven't already, be sure to hop in our Discord server through the link below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date, and as always, a huge special thank you goes out to all of my supporters across Patreon and YouTube. With special mention to new supporter, Keith. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.